Welcome back to the vlog. We're going to be over at Capital playing in the 1-3 game. We buy it for $500. Played for 4 hours. And, well, sit back, relax, enjoy. Here it comes. All right, we're over an hour into our session. Haven't really had too much to play. Won a couple little teeny pots, lost some little pots as well. Here I'm in middle position with pocket eights. Open for a raise to 15. End up getting a bunch of callers, so we're going to go 5 ways to this flop. Flop comes out above average, 9-8-6. So there are some straights and straight draws out there, but other than that, I should be pretty good. The first player in the big blind leads into me for $27. Here, I should probably raise and charge all draws.
Okay, you just have to raise there. There's no way you should be letting other people come in behind you. If this guy has something like ace-9 and you're letting someone come in there with a straight draw, it's going to cost you. That's bad poker.
But I decided just to call and see what the other 2 players behind me would do. One folds and the other one puts in the money. So we're going to be 3 ways to this turn with 157 in. Looking for a blank, and that's exactly what we get, a 3 of diamonds. The player again leads into me, another small sizing, $35. All right, it's time to put some money in this pot. So I'm trying to figure out a good size. I make it 150. My idea is to charge draws, because if he happens to have a straight, he's going to get all the money in. He thinks for a while and then sticks in part of the call, and he then counts out the rest of it. So I'm pretty sure he's on some sort of straight draw, maybe a pair in a straight draw. So I'm a little worried about straight coming in. We'll see what happens. He only has about $110 behind. River card comes as a 5 of spades. Yeah, not a good card. So anyone with a 7 makes a straight, and he shoves his remaining stack in. I snap call because I'm getting like 6-1 odds, and he shows that he missed with Jack 10. Well, I open for a raise to 15 with Jack 10 suited from under the gun. The player on my left decides to put in a raise, but if you were to just watch and study him, this is exactly what a raise from a very strong hand looks like from an inexperienced player. So watch how he counts out his chips, stacks them over and over again, and then finally decides just to put them in. This is a monster. It's folded around to the player at the end of the table, and he has $485, and he shoves all in. Yeah. Jack 10's an easy fold, but I tell you, you know how sometimes you get a feeling that your hand's going to be good? This is one of those times. But I got to get out of the way, of course. The other player snap calls with his remaining stack, and we're going to go see a run out to see if we would have got there and to see if this person has a monster hand. The table talk saying, oh, you probably both have the same hand. Flop comes out queen high with 2 hearts. Turns, gives us a flush draw, and a river card makes us a straight and a flush. And of course, the player next to us has pocket aces. The other player had ace king suited, and yeah. Here I'm in the low jack with ace jack offsuit. It's folded to me, so I open for a raise to 15. Only gets defended by the player in the small blind, who's been playing a whole lot of hands. So he can have a very wide range at this point. Flop comes out 10-10-8. Not a bad flop. If he doesn't have a 10, he's probably not super comfortable with his hand. He checks it to me. I'm going to continue for $20. He thinks only for a few minutes and then puts in the call. Turn card comes as a 4 of clubs. Basically a blank. Doesn't introduce a backdoor flush draw. He checks again. I decided to bet again because I think he's more likely to have straight draws in this spot than having something like a 10 or even an 8. But when I bet 50 and he calls quickly, I'm giving up on my hand unless I catch something like a ace or a jack. River card comes as a queen. He checks again. I thought about going for it, but I don't think he will fold. And he turns over queen 8 offsuit for 2 pair. So I don't think he was folding no matter what I bet. There's a $6 straddle and a couple limpers in this hand. I look down at ace 8 suited. Decided just to call. I like playing suited aces multi-way. The player in the small blind puts in a raise, makes it 21. 2 other players put in the call, so I think I gave them the right price, so I go ahead and call as well. So we have $96 in this pot, and we got 4 players. Flop comes out 5-4 deuce. There is 1 spade, so we have a gutter to the low end of the straight and a backdoor flush draw and 2 overcards. It gets checked around to us. Well, we're going to take a stab. I don't think I have the best hand here, but I might be able to get someone to fold out a better ace. The player next to me goes into the tank for a while. I'm sure he does have a hand like ace king, ace queen, I don't know, something like that. And he thinks long and hard and decides to let it go. So once he folds, I figured I was successful in getting a better hand out. And let's see if we can get the others to fold. The other player does end up folding, and the player to our direct right, who has a very short stack, just sticks it in for $32. I get a little refund. And we get to see a run out, which comes a 9 of hearts and a 6 of hearts. I tell him I just have ace high, and he rolls over ace 8 of clubs as I show him my ace 8. And we have a little giggle, and we chop that little pot. By the way, the player on my left did say he folded a better ace. So our bet was successful. Again, I find myself with a suited ace, this time in the big blind, and it was a limp pot. So there's $18 in the middle, and the flop comes out Jack 8-5. Yeah, good flop. I check with the intention of check raising, hoping to get someone to bet a jack or an 8, and it gets checked around. Turn card comes as a 4 of spades. Now the small blind leads out for $10. He has a short stack, so I decided just to call, and we get another call from behind us, and then the player puts in a raise to 55. What the heck? Does he have 7-6? Maybe he made 2 pair with 5-4. Oh, not quite sure. The player on my right, who has the short stack, just decides to go all in. He has about $70 left in his stack. So once he puts that in, it's on to me. Now, this isn't a big enough raise to open the betting, so I think the only thing for me to do here is just to call and see if I can suck out. I'm pretty sure that if I catch a club, I'm winning, and if I think maybe an ace or even a 5 might be good at this spot. So I put in the money. We got a $223 pot, and we're just kind of hoping for a club at this point. Of course, the other player who put in the race 55, he does call. It would have been nice if he folded, wouldn't it? I don't think he's going to be folding. River card comes, 8 of spades. So we totally brick out. We got nothing. We missed all our draws. Yeah, sometimes poker goes that way. Of course, I check it over. He makes a bet of $100. He has a monster. Maybe he flopped 2 pair, and maybe he turned 2 pair or a straight. Anyway, nothing to do here but just fold. The player on my right says he missed his flush draw, and this player shows that he had Jack 8 for a full house. I had plenty of outs, just didn't get there. I'm under the gun with 9-7 suited, something I normally don't open up with too much, but occasionally you have to put it in your range so you stay balanced. So I make it 15. Player in the low jack makes it 55. It's folded around to me. Here, I'm really not getting the right price.
All right, I heard you say it. You're not getting the right price. You know what that means? That means you fold. You have to be able to fold when you're getting the wrong price.
I decided this guy has a big pair, and if I hit this flop, I'm going to go ahead and stack him. If I miss it, oh well, there goes $55. So I put in the call, and we go heads up to a flop, which comes out pretty good for my hand. Jack 8-5 with 2 clubs. So I check it, planning on putting in a big check raise when they make a standard bet. But he doesn't make a standard bet. He bets like 150. I'm going, okay, well, I'm still going to get all in. I'm a favorite right now. I got like 54% edge over a pair of aces at this point.
This is why the call was bad. You put in $55, hoping to get a flop. You get probably the best flop you can get, and you're flipping with him? You put in $55 so you can have a chance with a flip? Come on, pick a better spot.
So I jam. He snap calls. We get to see a run out of a deuce of diamonds and a 10 of hearts. Yes, we make a straight. I show him the straight. He's not too happy. He rolled over that he had pocket queens. So nice pot, not well played. So there's several limpers that limped into this pot. I'm in the cutoff, and I got a pretty decent hand of ace queen offsuit. Decided to put in a raise to 25, trying to limit the field. Got a couple of people to throw their cards away, but a lot of them decided they wanted to play. So we're going to end up going 4 ways to this flop with $104 in the center. Hoping to see a big flop with like aces and kings and queens. Instead, I get 665 rainbow. Well, that's actually pretty good. I mean, the only hand I'm going to get action from is someone with a 6, maybe 7, 8, maybe a 5, or someone with a pocket pair. And when they all check over to me, I'm going, this looks like a green light to protect my ace high. So I put out a bet for $50. Doesn't look like anyone has too much. They just let their cards go. And we win a small pot. And this was the last pot we won today. We ended up playing for another half hour or so. Didn't really pick up anything too interesting to play. And after about 4 hours, I decided to call it quits and head on home. So today's results, I won $360. Granted, I didn't play my best, but, sometimes you just don't have it. Anyway, really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and doing all that fun stuff. And I look forward to seeing you back here next week. It's going to be a good one, a real good one.